Okay, example 4. How many pieces of plywood 0.375 inches thick are in a stack 30 inches high? So each piece of plywood is 0.375 inches, right? And the stack, so we have a bunch of plywood stacked on top of each other, a piece of plywood, another piece of plywood, another piece of plywood, and so on. All right, so we got all this plywood stacked up here. The stack is 30 inches high. We want to know how many boards are in the stack, right? So looking at that scenario, what's going on here, which operation do you think would be helpful to us, multiplication or division? Division, right? So we take the total amount of width of the whole stack, we divide by how much one board is, and that will get us how many boards there are, right? So 30 inches divided by 0.375. Is that going to be more than 30 or less than 30?
Less than
30 divided by 0.375. Why, or I heard less than more. Let's go with, why do you think more?
Because obviously it's a smaller number than 30.
Usually when we divide, we get bigger numbers usually, right? Usually. All right, 0.375 is less than 1, right? So if one board is 0.375, then two boards is about 6.65, right? 3 boards gets us just over 1 inch, right? So it takes 3 boards to make an inch-ish, right? A little bit more than an inch, right? So 3 boards make an inch, and then 3 more boards make another inch, and so on. We're looking somewhere around 90, so it's going to get bigger than 30. In general, when we're dividing, just to generalize things, if you divide by a number bigger than 1, the result is going to be smaller. If you divide by a number less than 1, the result gets bigger. So dividing by less than 1 is always bigger. Dividing by bigger than 1 is always smaller. So as far as a division problem is concerned, we're dividing by 0.375. So in the long division format, I put 0.375 out here. And I put the 30 on the inside. And notice 30 has no decimal point on it, but it's understood to have one right there. And we put a few zeros to continue it. Now, if I got 0.375 outside, this is my outside number. I want my outside number to be a whole number. I have to slide the decimal point 3 spaces to the right to account for the fact I want that to be a whole number. 1, 2, 3 movements, right? So I need to move this 3 over also. 1, 2, 3 right there. And I can put some more zeros back here if I want to. So what I'm really doing, instead of 30 divided by 0.375, I'm doing 30,000 divided by 375. Then I just slide the decimal point up on the quotient bar right there, and I start dividing. 375 does not go into 300, right? Not big enough. So I need to go into 3,000. So I'm going to begin my answer right here in the tens place. 3,000 divided by 375, I'm guessing 8. When you're dividing, a lot of times you're guessing, and as long as this is less than 3,000, pretty close to it, we're in good shape. So if we try it out, I'm going to move all this extra stuff out of the way. 8 times 5 is 40, that's 0, carry the 4. 56 plus 4 is 60, carry the 6. 8 times 3, 24, times 6 is 30. That's exactly 3,000, that's nice. So 3,000 minus 3,000 is 0. I still have this is the tens place, I still have a ones place to deal with, so I need to bring a 0 down here. 375 goes into 0 exactly 0 times. So there's no remainder, so that tells me that the stack is 80 boards high. I was off by just a little bit, right? But again, know that when you divide by a number bigger than 1, it makes the quotient smaller than the dividend. When you divide by a number less than 1, it makes the quotient bigger than the dividend. So that's a pretty typical thing where we divide by a rather small number, we get a bigger number out.